In an age overflowing with information and noise, every day, countless opinions rush towards us, but many people speak loudly without speaking logically. So what should we trust? Does something sound convincing because of logic or packaging? Logic becomes important. Today, we explore our topic logic. After this video, you'll understand how we reason and avoid fake logic. What is logic? It's not abstract philosophy, but a tool to judge whether reasoning is reliable. Logic focuses on four things: syllogisms, truth, values, arguments, and fallacies. First, syllogisms are yours. Ideas connected correctly. Second, truth values. Is a statement true, false, or undetermined? Third, arguments. Do your premises actually support your conclusion? Fourth, fallacies. Persuasive but logically wrong. Logic doesn't make you louder. It makes your thinking is structured and reliable. The first type is deductive reasoning. From general to specific. If the premises are true, the conclusion must be true. For example, all humans die. Socrates is human, so Socrates will die. Deductive reasoning used in math, laws, and strict reasoning fields. And key idea is necessity and certainty. The second type is inductive reasoning. From specific to general, the conclusion is probable. We can find observed cases inferring general trends, common use in research and trend prediction. The third type is objective reasoning. With limited info, we can find the best explanation. For example, when we saw the ground was wet, probably rained. It usually used in diagnosis and investigation. It brings the fast judgments, but maybe. The more often you think, it happens. Lastly, heuristics, the brain's shortcuts. This is called accessibility bias. For example, the easier something is to remember, sometimes also makes some bias dead. Understanding these is the first steps to understand what is logic. For deductive arguments, we evaluate them in two stages. First, whether the argument is valid or invalid, meaning whether the conclusion logically follows from the premises. Second, whether it is sound or unsound, which means the structure is valid and the premises are actually true. For example, all fish can fly. A goldfish is a fish. Therefore, a goldfish can fly. This argument is valid because the structure is correct, but it is not sound because the premise is false. For inductive arguments, we evaluate how strong lie the premises support the conclusion. This makes an argument strong or weak. If a strong argument is also based on reliable, well-supported premises, then it becomes cogent. Otherwise, it is considered uncogent. For example, if you interview only to students and then conclude that all students love mathematics, the argument is weak and uncogent because the sample is too small and the premise is unreliable. So whether an argument is trustworthy does not depend on how confident lie it is presented, but on whether its reasoning structure is valid and its premises are true. Learning to evaluate argument quality is essentially learning to distinguish between something that merely sounds convincing and something that is actually logically convincing. Logical fallacies are reasoning errors. That sounds persuasive on the surface, but breaking the rules of logic underneath, they miss. Lead us because they feel convincing, even when they are fundamentally flawed. Ad hominem, instead of addressing the idea, the speaker attacks the person delivering it. For example, your argument must be wrong because you failed math. The argument is ignored. The person becomes the target. Appeal to authority. Assuming something is true simply because an expert or influential person said so. Authorities can be wrong. Arguments must be judged by evidence, not reputation. Strawman fallacy. Distorting someone's original claim into a weaker or more extreme version, and then attacking that version instead. The real argument is never addressed. Slippery slope. Suggesting that a small action will end. That ably triggers a chain of dramatic. Discomes Strauss out. The connection is exaggerated and unsupported. Hasty generalization. Drawing conclusions from an insufficient or unrepresentative sample. One example is never enough to describe an entire group. So the danger of fallacies is not that they sound ridiculous, but that they often sound highly convincing. Fallacies make false ideas appear true and make emotional claims feel like evidence. When we fail to recognize fallacies, we become vulnerable to loud voices and emotional manipulation. But when we learn to identify them, we regain control of our thinking. Understanding fallacies is the first step toward thinking clearly and thinking freely. Learning logic is not simply memorizing rules. It is transforming the way we see the world, shifting from passive lie receiving information to actively understanding it, from being told what to think to knowing why we think it. In a noisy world, logic becomes a form of mental stability, a steady anchor and balance that reveals what lies beneath appearances. Logic does not dictate what the world should be. Instead, it helps us evaluate the quality of what we hear. What is true? What is exaggerated? And what is driven by emotion rather than evidence? Logic doesn't choose for us. It empowers us to choose for ourselves. Being able to assess arguments, recognize fallacies, and understand reasoning methods all lead to the same outcome. Becoming a clearer, more independent thinkers. In the age of rapid information, we are influenced not only by facts, but also by emotions, persuasive language, viral headlines, algorithms, and even other people's anxiety and anger. Someone who understands logic is harder to mislead, harder to manipulate, and less likely to follow emotional waves blindly. Logic reveals this truth. Not everything that sounds like truth is truth, and not everything that feels urgent deserves panic. Real freedom is not the ability to think anything. It is the ability to understand why something is worth believing. Clear thinking is power, but clear logic is freedom. When you can see the structure of an argument, recognize its flaws, and trace its premises, you stop being a passive receiver of information. You become an independent thinker, someone who stays clear, grounded, and free in a complicated world. Logic isn't for winning against others. It's for not losing yourself to the chaos of the world. Real freedom isn't thinking whatever you want. It's knowing why you think the way you do. Logic doesn't choose for you, but it empowers you to choose with clarity and strength. Logic doesn't make you louder. It makes your thinking is structured and reliable. Thanks for watching the video.